Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Expert Insights webinar, the first Expert Insights webinar of 2025. January has simultaneously been the longest and shortest month of the year. I'm not sure how it's been for you, but we've made it to the end of the month and I'm delighted to be here for this Expert Insights webinar. For those of you that don't know, we are CH4B Central Hub for Business, and we are a membership organisation dedicated to supporting business owners like you with expert guidance, practical resources, and a thriving community to help your business grow and scale. Today, I'm delighted to introduce Janneke Ock. She is the founder and director of Time Assist and one of our valued expert partners here at CH4B. Janneke brings over 15 years of experience in helping businesses streamline systems and manage their time effectively. Specialising in Capsule CRM, Janneke empowers business owners to optimise contact and task management for maximum productivity. Today, she's going to be sharing some actionable insights to help you simplify your systems, improve team collaboration, and stay on top of your workload. So without further ado, Janneke, it's over to you.
Hello, my name is Janneke Ock, and this is a webinar about how to never let a spinning plate drop, or how to master an effective contact management system. What we're going to go through in this webinar are the following things. First of all, we'll look at how to master the plate spinning efficiencies, so learn how to balance your client work delivery and business opportunities to optimize your contact and task management system. And then we'll look at how to streamline team collaboration and discover strategies on enhancing team management and ensure seamless communication and task tracking across all projects. We'll look at how to identify and fix gaps in your system, or effectively assess the effectiveness of your current systems, identify missing elements, and implement actionable improvements. And finally, you will be able to walk away some practical tips and tricks how to manage the efficiency of your systems and confidently take on more without dropping any of those spinning plates. To sum this part up, we look at contact management, task management, and the communication that actually brings those two together. First of all, let's start with the contact management. If I'd say a word CRM to you, what kind of emotions does it actually evoke? So CRM is a customer relationship management tool. Essentially, that's the original word and original terminology for a CRM. However, at the moment, especially within the small business environment, CRM is more referred to as a contact relationship management system rather than just customer relationship management. And the reason for that is because within our business environment, we work with a lot of different contacts and we have a different relationship with those contacts. So they can be clients or customers, but suppliers as well, and prospects and advocates and network contacts who might be good referral partners, for example. So within that ecosystem of contacts within your business, you encounter a variety of different ones. Hence, when we're talking about CRM, we refer to contact relationship management as opposed to customer relationship management, which was initially coined within 1970s. How does your CRM look like? If you have a CRM, if you have a separate CRM tool, or does it look like this, where you perhaps have too many sheets or spreadsheets? Or maybe it looks like your contact list on your phone, or on your LinkedIn, or on your WhatsApp. Or, let me guess, it looks like that. Just a bunch of business cards in a box or a drawer. And then you try to fetch them out. Or is it a combination of all of it? Or do you have a CRM system which is designated for the client work delivery, but nothing pre-conversion, nothing to record any prospecting pipeline, nothing to record your conversations for those one-to-ones, and nothing to record those tasks? So before we dive into how to start with the CRM system or how to use it in terms of effectively for your business, let's build a little bit more context about historical context. This is James Farley. He was President Roosevelt's campaign manager in the 1930s. President Roosevelt was very well known by somebody that remembers everyone's names, who he meets, their jobs, their kids' names, their wives' names, every detail or information that was available. He remembered all of it. However, he actually didn't remember it all. It was James Farley who had, in the terms of back then, a glorified spreadsheet with all this information, where he kept all these notes and then just fed to the president as and when needed. But what did this actually do for the relationships that the president had with those contacts that he encountered on a daily basis? So this is where the CRM, the contact relationship management, comes to play, because we're building relationships with those contacts. Either they are clients, or their suppliers, or their prospects, or their advocates, or their network contacts. It actually doesn't matter. The relationship building is an important part of it. So, how to choose the right CRM, or how to assess the existing CRM? First of all, have a think about what is the purpose of your CRM. First of all, what type of business are you running? Are you running business to business? Are you running that business to consumer? Is it that you have a high volume of customers and you're selling a product? Or you are providing a service and you have low volume of customers, but you need each customer, each client requires a lot of looking after. One way or another, you still need a place where you can record also your prospecting tools or your prospecting activities. And where do you have that? So that's where it's looking like, where you look at what is your current CRM catering for. Is the functionality mass marketing? Is it email marketing? Is that all the way you run your business in terms of the relationship building? Is it one to many? Or you need something that would cater this one-to-one conversation and record that. So that's where you look at what kind of CRM do you actually need. Sometimes what also happens is that you have a existing CRM tool for your active clients, especially with the businesses that are highly compliance focused. So you have the tools to deliver the client work, but nothing pre-conversion. So it's finding the right balance. It can be two different tools as well, but it has to have a very specific purpose for a specific activity. This is a brief overview about CRMs. The next part I want to talk about is the task management. So, you know what I'm talking about? The likelihood is it's this. It's a never-ending to-do list. And no matter how much you've tried to find a system that works for you, you start with something and you got fed up because there are 50,000 tasks that you need to get done in one day. Also, the challenge is it's not just about the tasks, it's about where those tasks fit within your weekly or daily calendar, within those meetings. Because essentially, you have all those meetings that you need to do or run or deliver on a daily basis, and yet you need to do this never-ending tasks in between of all of that as and when you can. And let me guess, your task list actually ends up in your inbox in the form of unread emails or flagged emails. So, how to tackle that? How to tackle the task management system? There's 3 areas that you need to look at with your tasks. It's about the clarity of the tasks and the relation of the tasks. Who are those tasks related to in terms of what do you actually need to do? For example, follow up with contact X. Make sure you email contact Y essentially it has to be very clear, but also with a task, it has to be very clear in terms of what the task, so each task has its start and finish. You cannot have, there's no point to have a task saying research or read of. You need to have a tasks in a way that they have a very clear start point and end point. And that's where it comes to task duration. So be very realistic when you set yourself up with some tasks during the daytime. What kind of tasks are there? Because if the task is send an email to Mr. X, then let's face it, it is something that can be done either fairly quickly or does require some time, because if you do need to send a relevant email, but you do need to do some further research, that might take a few hours. Or, for example, send those invoices, or make sure that your weekly bank reconciliations are done. Again, very different types of tasks, but also the task durations. And thirdly, they are business internal tasks or business external tasks. When I refer to business internal tasks, are things that need to happen within the business. Accounts, internal marketing activities, team management. So things that are internal. And external tasks, client work delivery, sales pipeline management, networking activities. Things need to happen, and the external tasks always have that contact attached to that task as well. We continue with the task management, and this time we look at sales pipeline, client work, and business internal tasks. So sales pipeline, effectively, it is a task management, because every sales pipeline opportunity, or every opportunity within the sales pipeline, is an activity. It is a task. You need to do something. You need to have a first meeting. You need to do a proposal. You need to have a follow-up call. You need to organize onboarding. Similarly to sales pipeline, client work delivery, again, they're tasks effectively, because what do you need to deliver for your clients or for your customers, or manage essentially the projects. And thirdly is those business internal, as I mentioned. So things that are, or tasks that are related to business internal activities, and perhaps are not related to all the various contacts that you have in your contact management, but perhaps just related to you, or related to specific team member. That's where they are internal. And thirdly, we go through the communication, because effectively communication within your team is a combination of contact management and task management, because you need to be very clear what needs to happen, by when, and by who. So effectively, you bring it together, all your contacts, who are you communicating with externally, tasks, what needs to happen, so activities, and you bring them together within your team, so everyone knows what needs to happen, by when, and by who. So, finally, we'll go through some self-assessment, of more of a reflection elements, because ask yourself, what systems do you have currently in place within your business? What systems do you have in place for your contact management, for your task management, and especially task management in terms of where is your sales pipeline documented? Where do you document the client work delivery? And what about the internal tasks? And finally, team communication. So write down what are the actual apps and tools that you're using for all those elements. Contact management, for example, can be a bunch of business cards. Or there might be just in your email, so somewhere in your email, or there might be your LinkedIn contacts. Task management can be just a one-off notebook where you write down everything you need to do and then go through them as quickly as you can. Sales pipeline might be just in your head. projects and client work delivery, you might have a system in place already. Once that prospect is converted and became a client, that you have a system in place that you record the work. But that might be it. What about the ecosystem around it? What about those quick tasks as well? What about internal tasks? How do you ensure that your business internally is as healthy as it is externally? And how do you communicate with your team within all of this? I'm sure that by now you're thinking that all of this is great in theory, but how do I even start? I have no clue what to do. So let me show you how, because I have a little sample for you about contact and task management. Meanwhile, if you have an app in mind that you want to test, trial as well, how it would work for your business, then you can use a spreadsheet as a temporary location where you can start collecting all your data in one place. Because majority of CRM systems have the import functionality, so you can always bring information in. But it would be really helpful if you collect the information into one place in a first instance. And I will make sure that you will have access to this spreadsheet template afterwards as well. But let me show you and talk you through. So the spreadsheet itself, it is a simple Excel spreadsheet, and I'll talk you through how you can use it. It's a simplified version of a contact and task management system, but it will help you to make a start. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you'll be able to see. So here and the below tabs, you will have a bit of an introduction, how to use this. You have some drop-down options. You will see exactly which drop-down options are available. And then you have the contact and task management, and then business internal tasks as well. So contact and task management is more related to your contact management and sales pipeline and client work if needs to be. But it's more of making sure that you have them all in one place. And if you need to have business internal tasks, you have a location for that as well. So let's go through contact and task management. So first of all, we start with the basic first and last name. So let's say we have Susan Sunshine. Then we have an email, which is susansunshine.com. Then we'll have a phone number. And then we have an organization, Sunshine Limited. And then we have an industry, and here you can have a drop-down option as well. So just to make sure that you can start grouping, and if you want to filter any of the industries, you can group them as well. Let's say Sunshine Limited is accommodation and food. Let's say it's an B&B. Role in the organization, Susan Sunshine. So she is the owner. We'll have the website, which is sunshine.com. And then a little bit information about the contact. So perhaps met at a networking event, but also they are a good friend of Mr. Out. Then we have a drop-down option again for connection groups. So let's say I actually got to know them at networking event and I met them. I believe it was, let's go, 10th of October 2024. And here is, they have introduced you to someone. So this is quite an important part where you can start recording if they have introduced you to somebody. And the next one is referral given. So I have introduced them to somebody. Again, this is really good for a relationship building aspect as well. So in I got introduced to Win, and then you have introduced them to someone. So I have introduced them to Mr. Umbrella, and I always like to put like when about as well. So let's say it was November 24. And then if there's any conversation notes, so from those one-to-one, so it might be that one-to-one notes, and we have those in November, and interested in rainbow networking, for example. But let's say that Susan Sunshine is somebody who might be an actually good contact for a sales pipeline. We're in the initial conversation stage, but as you can see, different stages here as well. And what is the next action? What do you need to do? So I need to make sure that, say, follow up in Jan 2025, and next action date is 6th of Jan. And then here you can put which is a priority, it's a medium priority, and type of a contact is currently prospect. So this way it gives this highlight as well, so you can easily follow up. This is a very simplistic contact and sales pipeline management system. But at least this way you can start, first of all, downloading your head, so bringing all this information together whilst you are either searching a suitable CRM or have the conversation, can ensure that all this information stays put as well. And then you have this business internal tasks functionality here as well, where you can just, again, download your head. So task title, let's say you need to do new marketing materials, and then what do you actually need to do? So we come back to this, be very specific with your task, because new marketing materials can mean new logo design or new brand design, or just tweak a wording in your LinkedIn profile. So let's say new rebrand conversation with Mr. Puddle. Here we go. So task source. So what do I need to do? So in terms of that, so I need to have a meeting, and task area. This is the marketing area. Next action description. So after that, once we had that meeting, what do we need to do? We need to actually make sure that you get drafts from Mr. Puddle. And the next action date, again, the January 2025. And then akin to the prospecting pipeline, let's say that is a priority. So you need to make sure that this is happening. So this is a very simplified way of starting collecting all that information. However, if you feel that spreadsheets are way too much, you don't need that, and it just creates more anxiety, then the recommendations, what kind of CRM and task management system to use. And in this case, I always recommend using an app called Capsule, and you can find out more on capsulecrm.com, just purely because of its simplistic approach, but also very clear and very easy to follow process. If you want to find out more how you can increase your productivity, then you can book a free existing business system to review just by scanning the code on the screen. So essentially what it is, it's an online call, but what the call allows you to do is to go through what do you have in place already, and what can you do to just make it a little bit more productive if you feel that there might be some areas within your business systems that are not as effective as they could be. And sometimes you need somebody who has this zoomed outlook just to see and ask the question, why you use 7 steps instead of 2 steps, for example. But it's a free, no obligation conversation about what you can do within your business and in-house as well to increase the productivity. And finally, here are my contact details as well. I'd be happy to connect with you on LinkedIn and see and get some feedback in terms of how you have found those tips and tricks and what has it done for your business. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Yannicka. There were some really great hints and tips in there. I'm sure everyone will agree. And thanks to all of you for joining us for today's Expert Insights webinar. I hope you're feeling inspired to take your task and contact management to the next level. As Yannicka just shared her contact details, I will just reiterate that absolutely feel free to reach out to Yannicka or myself. I will pop my email down here so you'll be able to reach out to us as well. I will share an email shortly with Yannicka's booking link in there so you'll be able to chat directly with her, if not through LinkedIn. And if there's anything else that CH4B can support you with, you're welcome to email me as well. CH4B members, you'll have access to this webinar recording in the Business Hub. And for any non-members that have joined us today, if you would like a copy of the webinar, again, feel free to email me and I'll be happy to share a copy with you. We'd love to see you at our next Expert Insights webinar as well, which will be on the last Thursday in February, this time in partnership with CAPC Mortgages, looking at protection. So it will be all about how to safeguard your business and personal finances in the worst case that something should happen. So with that in mind, I will share that all with you. Anybody that registered for the webinar will remind you of all upcoming ones. We hope to see you again, but thank you for joining us today, and we will catch you very, very soon. Bye.